Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well today. Hey, hi, hello. My lips are chapped. This ain't gonna work. Can't be filming videos with no chapped lips, for real. Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well today. You guys know I don't really like introductions, so we're gonna get right into this. Today I wanted to talk about how and why I quit social media. More specifically, Instagram and Snapchat, because that's all I really had at the time. I'm also going to be covering the benefits and the disadvantages it has had on my mental health. When I was first introduced to social media, I was 11 years old in the year of 2014. The first apps I downloaded were Instagram and Twitter, but I deleted Twitter after a week because, of course, like any other 11-year-old, I didn't really understand how to use it at the time. But we'll revisit that later. I also downloaded Tumblr, but I was more of a spectator than an active user. At the time, well, not just at the time, but almost the entirety of my time on Tumblr, I was more of a spectator because I was more like really into the ideas that were out at the time than I was actually posting. Plus, I personally did not really know anybody on Tumblr, so I was never tempted to even post or create a platform because I didn't really know anybody my age that was doing that themselves. I also did not download Snapchat until 2 years later in 2016. Excuse me. In that time period, Instagram felt like a tool where you could share your ideas and perspectives and memes and tweets with the world, as well as find opportunities and so much more. Whereas Snapchat felt like a place where people could communicate more privately and more casually. I want to say that for the most part, Instagram felt pretty casual until around 2018. I could be wrong, but I feel like that was around the time period where influencer culture was born. I started to feel like people stopped posting more casually and started posting more seriously, myself included. However, throughout this time period, I gained a newfound sense of confidence. My skin was clearing up, I developed my own personal style, and even my hair evolved throughout the years. I was just very pleased with myself and where I was going with my life and how I looked. I was very confident. However, because life is full of ups and downs, that was very short-lived. In 2019, my family was going through a financial crisis where I had to move twice in 1 year, and that was very difficult for me to keep up with, especially considering that I still had to go to work and school through all of that. And then in early 2020, right before everything got shut down with COVID happening, my uncle passed away due to complications with his lungs and his breathing. Um, and I mentally did not take that well with everything that was going with my life. And I found out that I was using social media as a crutch to escape reality, or at least the reality that I was experiencing in real life. At the same time, I started to become very insecure about myself because I found that as I was consuming more and more social media, I started to become insecure about the way I looked because I was comparing myself to other influencers on Instagram and their lives. Well, not just influencers, but also like my friends who seem to be living their best lives on other platforms like Snapchat and things like that. And in that time, I felt very behind in life, and I was only 16, so of course, like anybody that's watching this video, you're like, wow, that's really weird. You're probably like, I don't understand that. Eventually, I felt so insecure that I felt like I could only post when the attention is being drawn towards somebody that is not me, or the attention is drawn to someone else. Because at the time, the feeling of self-hate was very new for me. I did not grow up experiencing that, especially regarding my looks. So of course, just like anybody that is coming of age, I had a very difficult time identifying that what I was feeling was in fact self-hate. Because before then, I've never felt insecure about myself or the way I looked before. So around mid 2020, where like all the Black Lives Matter protests came and it was like a real hot topic and things like that, my stories and my Instagram, everything was all flooded with Black Lives Matter content and infographics and things like that. And that was very life-changing because I'm like, why did I feel relieved? I felt very relieved when all of that was happening. So relieved, in fact, that when the Black Lives Matter trend was over, I realized how agonizing social media was. It was like everything just went right back into the groove of things, which is crazy to me because when I first joined Instagram, and I first downloaded social media all those years ago, it felt like a place where you could come, have fun. It felt like a casual app where people could just post their memes and tweets and selfies and things like that. It was cute, it was cool, and it was fun, at least for me. But as times changed, I found that social media felt and it became more of a competition, which led me to comparing myself to standards that were impossible for me to live up to. However, once I realized that Instagram and social media itself is its own reality, everything changed. So much so that I deactivated my Instagram and all my social media out on a whim. I had to deactivate my accounts so that I couldn't keep up with them, but more importantly, so they couldn't keep up with me. And little did I know, I was going to discover so much more about myself. The day I decided that I was going to delete my social media, I posted my YouTube on all my platforms to see if anybody even cared to keep up with me. And out of very few of the hundreds of people that have viewed my content, very few have made the effort to subscribe or even keep in touch at all. And that experience made me realize how incredibly fake some people can be. And more importantly, it confirmed who my real friends are. It also made me realize that I was using social media to keep up with people that I didn't like, people that didn't like me, and old friends who I don't even talk to anymore. And more than anything, the biggest realization that I had is that I was posting because I was addicted to the validation I was receiving from the outside world. And when I first deleted Instagram, I was sad because I felt like I lost connection with all my friends. Or so I thought. But I was also sad because I found that being by myself and like after so many like years of seeking validation from others, it gave me the time and the energy to do a lot of introspection. I also felt lost because I realized that I didn't have any hobbies beyond what I did outside of school, which led me to have a surplus of time that I didn't really know what to do with. Taking the time to question my social media habits made me realize that I didn't really know myself. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life because I've just been doing what everyone else has been doing. However, those are just my immediate feelings. In the long term, social media gave me the mental clarity that I desperately needed. As I meant to say quitting social media is what gave me the mental clarity that I desperately needed. Especially since I was able to see that social media is its own reality and it's nothing like experiencing the real world. I was also able to see that this is my life and this is my journey. And when I stopped seeking validation from others, I was able to start living a life that was empowering to me. It also made me realize that all this energy and time that I have been spending consuming, that I could really refocus that time and energy back into myself and focus on what's important to me. Forming connections with people, reading, writing, journaling, school, work, and so much more. Because I was able to quit social media, I was able to live more of my actual life, which helped me gain invaluable perspectives. When I was able to step back and look at the bigger picture, one of the perspectives that this experience has also taught me was that not all social media is created equal. Instagram was created to be a casual app to share photos with the world, but instead, it's been turned into a billion-dollar industry profiting off the insecurities of other people. Snapchat was created to have more casual and private communication with others, but it's been turned into a place where people end up keeping up with other people they don't even care about, or they end up keeping meaningless friendships and relationships that don't do them good, that don't serve them. On the contrary, I also find that Snapchat is a tool of communication that people tend to outgrow. Whereas other platforms, just Twitter, TikTok, and Tumblr, seem to be the only casual spaces where you don't have to be an influencer or a celebrity to really gain traction, which is why you don't feel so terrible posting on there compared to other platforms. However, about a month or two ago, I downloaded Twitter and TikTok so I could see the posts my friends and family were trying to send me. However, because I'm not really used to consuming social media for long periods of time anymore, I'm hardly ever even interested in social media. I find that it's hard for me to even be interested in those apps for long periods of time without me getting bored or wanting to do something more productive or empowering to me. You do not have to delete social media to get the mental clarity you deserve because it can be used as an advantage. But mindlessly consuming social media is terrible for your mental health and damaging to your spiritual health, which is why I urge you to question your habits of running to social media. Is your relationship with social media healthy? Is it a tool to find creativity, joy, and entertainment? Or is it a mentally debilitating weapon you use against yourself to escape reality?